Hey everybody, Tony and Sarah Zalecki, Minneapolis, Minnesota. And guys, we are fired up because 2019 is around the corner. And if you're anything like us, we had an amazing year. You know, one of the things that I love so much about our profession is hearing a lot of different quotes. And one of the quotes that I heard Eric Worre talk about is he talked about that there are growing years and there are great years. And I'm excited. I think for us, we've had great years and we've had a growing year this year. And we've gone through a lot of stretching and growing and just kind of always working on the best version of ourselves. And so we thought, you know what, let's get on this live today and let's talk to these guys personally from our perspective on, oh my God, what the heck are the things that we did in 2018 that, oh my gosh, thank goodness we caught it, right? I mean, thank goodness we caught these things and we say, you know, we need to turn this stuff around. Like we need to, you know, take a serious, like, you know, we were going west. We need to take a serious directional turn to go east to change this. So most of you guys are the replayers. So hi replayers. If you happen to be on here live, feel free to drop us, you know, a little heart, a little emoji on how you're feeling today. But we're going to pour into you guys just some stuff. And quite frankly, this is going to be a personal video where we kind of walk through some of that stuff.
Yeah, we were talking about it today. You know, we were sitting mapping out some things for next year. And we had some calls with some dear friends. And one thing I know is that these things we're going to talk about today, you can implement, you can use, you can apply, and your business will change immediately for the better.
Exactly.
And we did it, and our business did grow like crazy this year.
Yes.
Like at an all-time high. And we had our best year yet. And it's because we executed, and we're going to talk about that today.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and let's talk about our first one.
Yep.
So the first one, guys, that I want to tell you is, you know, I think for a lot of us early on in our business, right, we try to be like everything to everyone. And if you're anything like me, I'm a huge people pleaser. I'm a recovering people pleaser. I've been working on it for, 20 years, right? I'm still working on it. And I think this year has been a big year for us where we kind of had to get to the point in our business where we're like, you know what? We can't be everything to everyone. You know, and if we can just do the best job that we can and be Tony and Sarah Zalecki, and if people like us, great, and if people don't, great, that's okay. And I think for many of us, even ourselves, obviously this is a very personal live today, that has been a challenge when we were like, you know what, we have to be willing to just go, you know what, there are going to be people that do not like us, and that's okay. There are going to be people that are not necessarily our allies, and that's okay, right? Yep. And as long as we can give love, you know, give grace, take the high road, and do what we need to do, well, then you know what? That's good enough. And so I want to share with you guys that I think it's really important that the more you try to be everything to everyone, it's going to be hard to build your business. And I will tell you what's really cool in this business is that it will take you a while to where what I call kind of like your tribe is going to automatically attract to you, right? And I think for some of us, we have to kind of still figure out who are we, right? Who are we? What do we stand for? Like, you know, what are the things that matter to us, right? And the more that we can emanate that, the more we can share that through social media and what have you, and people know who we are, the more attracted they're going to be to us, right? And so I want to encourage you that the more you can kind of like figure out your lane, right? We had 29 this year. We had to figure out our lane that we're going to run in. And not saying that we weren't confident in ourselves, but we were like, you know what? We can't be everybody to we can't be everything to everybody, right? And so once we figured out how to stay in our lane, well, I'll tell you what, the right people really started coming on board, right? And whether it be leaders, whether it be people that just wanted a better way, you know, whether it be people that had never been in the profession before, right? And so I think for us, that was a big piece is that instead of us trying to be like this big, you know, spider web, right? All these different directions, we learn how to put our blinders on and stay in our lane and be exactly who we need to be for people. And boom, our business exploded this year. Right?
Absolutely. So number 2, before we get into number 2, if you're getting some value out of this, share this out and let us know you're sharing it out so we can give you some love right here. This was a big one for us, and that's investing in the relationships.
Big time.
I know a lot of times we get really busy every single day and we bring people in and then we're just looking for the next person, or, you know, we're trying to find the next, you know, big talent that wants to come in our business or wants to join, or, you know, whatever we got to do to get them in. And we forget about the relationship relationships and we don't spend the time in those relationships that are here already, that are in front of us already, that are reaching out to us, right? And I think a lot of times people go, you know what? I don't invest in the relationships because maybe I'm too busy going this way or too busy going that way or trying to figure out, who my next $1 million earner is going to be. And a lot of times they're right in front of us. So you got to remember, edify, inspire them, teach the business. And people say, well, invest in the relationship, Tony. How do I know if it's, the right people to invest in? Well, here's the thing. If people are taking action and if they're trying and if they're doing and they're trying to figure this thing out and they're showing up at events, they're showing up on Zooms, they're showing up on calls, they're face to face with you, like ding, 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 invest in those relationships. If people are facing their fears and they're doing things that are really uncomfortable for them every day, and they're like stretching like crazy, ding, 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 invest in that relationship. If people are proactive, right, and they're not so reactive, but they're extremely proactive, guess what? Ding, 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 invest in that relationship. Spend some time with them. They need your love. They need your insight. They need to hear your voice. They need to see your face. They need to, be around you, and they need that love. If they're ambitious, right? If they're driven, if they're just so dang hungry, they just can't let go, guess what? Invest in that relationship. I'm just telling you, investing in these relationships and giving your love, giving your time, giving whatever you can give them so they can take a step up, so that they can get better. That's the best worth of your time.
Exactly. And I think for us, one of the things is we had a lot of people that were coming into our business and a lot of people that we thought were potentially leaders, up and coming leaders. And quite frankly, they are. We thought, hey, they've got it. When the reality is those are the people we need to be pouring the gasoline on, right? To help them grow and help, develop what we call layered leadership. I know Bob Goshen, I think, was on here before. He has a great book called Layering Leadership that really helped us get better in that area. But it's just spending that time with those guys, right? And investing. Those are the people that need that really need your guidance, right? And need your help. I'll give you guys an example. I was telling Tony, most of you guys know my love language is gifts, right?
Yep.
By the way, guys, if you have a business that's majority of women, they love gifts too, right? So not in just investing in time with them, but also investing in the little things, right? Sending them things, sending them cards, sending them messages saying, hey, I love you. You're doing awesome. I know you're going through the fire, but stick with it. We got you, that type of thing, right? Yep. So I know it's the holidays, and I'm like, Tony, you know what? We need to send stuff out to our people to show them that we care, right? Yep. That they know that we're like, you know what? We honor you. Thank you for working your butt up this year, right? We've got you. Thank you for being our running mate, right? Thank you for being our peer. And I think that's something that's so kind of overlooked where we think, oh, that's not really that big of a deal. Guys, it's a huge deal. It is a huge deal. It's about creating that camaraderie and that trust and that loyalty, right? To be back to back when you're running. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of things. So Tony is like my Santa Claus. So actually he spent, I don't know how long, 2 hours at the post office they sent into Canada. So I owe him a big date, a hot date for that one. But look this is just some of the stuff, right? Filled up at Lululemon for our Americans, right? Our American leaders that are in our business. And guess what? It's important. You got to take care of people. They got to know that dang, these guys, they care, right? And it doesn't have to be a big crazy thing, guys. Small. Right? It's the thought of all that matters the most, where they go, oh my gosh, this has been a rough year for me. This has been a growing year. And I got this package and I got this Merry Christmas thing. I guess what? 2019, I got this, right? I think it's so important to celebrate your people all the time.
Yeah, and you don't need to be making tens of thousands of dollars a month to do this. Tiny acts of selfless love. You know what I mean? Voice memos, a card, an email, right? Just a little cool thing that you're thinking about them, right? People they want to feel good about themselves, and they want to feel loved, and they want to feel that people are noticing them, and they're doing a good job, and you appreciate them, and you're so grateful and thankful, and you honestly mean that from the bottom of your heart. But people, again, so many people say, Tony, I mean that. You understand? I really feel that way about them, but they don't know that because you're not telling them. You're not sharing anything with them. You're not giving them a little surprise and, giving them something that they go, oh my gosh, this is absolutely amazing, right? So do these things. And that investment in that relationship will go a long, long way.
Big time.
A long way.
Big time. Last but not least.
Yep.
Is about, I think this past year, guys, for us, I think for a lot of us, has been a lot of learning, right? Drop me a 1 if you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's been a lot of learning. We've all learned a lot, right? Learning a lot about our business, learning a lot about how to build on social media, right? We've all learned all this stuff, how to be a better leader, a better parent, whatever, right? And I think for us, one of the big turning points for us is that halfway through our year, we have been learning so much, which is great. Right? It's kind of like we were drinking out of a fire hose. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's been a year of like, wow, there's a lot of stuff I'm learning right now, right? But I also think too, guys, is that the execution is so important. And a lot of times we forget that execution, right? We kind of do the get ready to get ready to get ready. I need to learn everything. Right? And then I'll execute. And for us, we made a decision that, you know what? We're just going to start firing. We're just going to start firing, right? And what happened is that it really helped us with enrollments of people, getting people started, making sure people get to events, right? We just executed on all the areas of our business that we knew really needed our attention, right? And not so much just learning more, but just executing, right? And I think for some of us, we've been in that learning mode, which is great, but it's about that execution piece, right? So I know that like kind of this whole thing's been floating around every year. You guys see people post on Facebook, what's your word? What's your word? What's your word for 2019? And the word for Tony and I, for us for 2019 is execute, right? Because we also are guilty of it, like so many of us are, where I'm like, Tony and I were talking and we're like, you know what? Like we need to execute on a lot of things, right? Because we all tell ourselves, I need to be a better parent. I need to be a better spouse. I need to work harder on my business. I need to talk to more people. I need to quit being lazy. I need to do a better job with my physical health. I need to do a better job with my personal development. Or I need to get more involved in my community, right? We're telling ourselves all this stuff, but how much of that stuff are we actually firing on and executing? Okay? Quiet, all right? We're guilty, guys. We're totally guilty of that too, right? So we said, okay, so 2019, we're just going to execute on just every level that we possibly can. And you know what? We're not going to worry about those mistakes. We're just going to execute on the mistakes that we make. We'll just clean up and keep moving. It's going to help us get better. But we just said, how many things can we execute in our life in 2019 on every single level, right? Every single level. So 2019, that's our word. We're excited because we know that it's about just doing it.
Yeah,
right? And doing it a lot.
And if you're not executing and you're just like, man, I'm in the same boat I was in last year. I'm in the same boat I was in 2 years ago. I'm in the same boat I was in 3 years ago. Well, find out why are you in that same boat? What is the repeating pattern that keeps happening that you need to break this year, that you need to break today, that you need to just go, you know what? It's done. It's out the door. I'm not going to be in the same boat anymore. And I'm executing, like I'm implementing, like I'm getting a result today. I'm getting a result tonight, tomorrow, the next day as you go into 2019 because you got this. And I'm just telling you, people say, I don't know enough. You do know enough. You have the tools. You have the information. You have what it takes. You just need to execute. Take action. I heard Aaron Parker say, take action. You better believe it, brother. Like, just implement, execute. Implement, execute. And you know what? As crazy as it looks, as messed up as it looks, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be probably the way you think it's going to be. It's not going to go the way you think it's going to be. And guess what? Who cares?
Right.
It really doesn't matter.
Right.
Just do it.
Right.
And just get a win and just move forward so you can get out of the boat you've been in for a long time.
Exactly. And guys, here's the thing. At the end of the day, if you tear network marketing down to the bare bones, guess what? It's about talking to people. And it's about sharing your heart and sharing your story. So it's like you've got to, I tell everyone, I'm like, all the skills are important. Yes. Do we need to learn how to be professional in building a social media?
Yeah.
Yes. Do we need to learn how, the fundamentals of the business? Yes. But I will tell you, more than anything, it's about, understand, like, you have a heart. So that's part of what it takes. You have a mouth and you can say hello and you can build a relationship, right? Like if you've got those things, you can build a business inside of here. So, I think for us, yes, we learned a lot, but we also know too that if we are going to move forward and move forward in a very big way, we need to just execute. No matter how crazy that looks, we just have to move forward. So 2019, we're going to move forward with moving our mouth a lot. We're going to move forward with sharing our heart a lot. We're going to move forward with sharing our story a lot and just executing in every way that we possibly can.
And and here's the thing, like the profession, the world needs you to be bigger and better than you've ever been in your entire life. And it needs the best version of you. And you got this. Like, let us be your biggest fan, celebrate you more than anybody does in the next 12 months because you got this. And we can't wait to share your story with the world because you're pretty amazing.
Yeah, we love you guys. We'll talk to you guys soon. Share this out. There's somebody that needs to hear this message that feels like they're stuck when the reality is they're not stuck. They've got everything that they need to go ahead and move forward in their business. So love you guys. Have an awesome one and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.